The regular monthly meeting of the Blair Oaks chapter of FBLA will now come to order. Will the secretary please read the minutes?
The regular meeting of the Blair Oaks chapter of FBLA was held on March 1st, 2013 at 7 a.m. in room 1 of Blair Oaks High School in Warrensville, Missouri. President Ben Campbell was in the chair and the secretary was present. All members were in attendance. The minutes of the previous meeting were approved as read. The treasurer reported a balance of $305.25. The report was placed on file. Membership Committee Chairman Monica Patnick reported that the FBLA recruitment day at Blair Oaks Middle School was a success, and 28th grade students signed up to participate in FBLA in the 2013-2014 school year. Members scheduled an additional informational meeting for 8th grade students May 1st, 2013. Fundraiser Committee Chairman Matt Glover reported that the Otis Spunkmeyer fundraiser order forms were mailed March 1st, and the collection day is set for April 30th in the Blair Oaks High School cafeteria. The date for the Spring Grandparents' Day was announced. It will be held May 8th in the Blair Oaks High School cafeteria. Michaela Ford moved, and it was seconded, that we host a hat day on May 11th to raise funds for our trip to the FBLA National Convention. The motion was adopted. Leanne Pelovi moved, and it was seconded, to hold the annual FBLA Carnival on May 23rd, 2013. The motion was pending when the meeting was adjourned. It was announced that Amanda Kiso wishes to resign from the Community Service Committee Chair. There being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 7:50 a.m. Jolie Duffner, Secretary.
Are there any corrections to the minutes?
Mr. President,
Ms. Schaefer.
the informational meeting scheduled for 8th graders was scheduled for May 3rd, not May 1st.
It has been noted that the informational meetings for 8th graders were scheduled for May 3rd, not May 1st. Are there any objections to this correction? Hearing no objections, this correction will be adopted into the minutes. It was also noted that Community Service Committee Chair Amanda Kiso announced her resignation. The President has appointed Shelby Scott to fill this vacancy. Is there any objection to Shelby Scott filling this vacancy? Hearing no objections, Shelby Scott will now be the Community Service Committee Chair. Under unfinished business, there is a motion pending from the last monthly meeting to hold the annual FBLA Carnival on May 23rd, 2013. Are you ready for the question?
Mr. President,
Ms. Holland.
I speak in favor of this motion because I feel that we should hold our annual carnival shortly after school releases. I think that this will be seen as an end-of-school celebration.
Mr. President,
Ms. Schaefer.
I move we amend this motion by striking out the words May 23rd and inserting the words May 2nd.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we amend this motion by striking out the words May 23rd and inserting the words May 2nd. The motion with the proposed amendment will then read that the annual FBLA Carnival will be held on May 2nd, 2013. Are you ready for the question?
Mr. President,
Ms. Schaefer.
I believe holding a carnival on May 2nd will give us plenty of time to properly allocate the funds raised during the carnival before the end of the school year.
Mr. President,
Ms. Duffner.
I think that holding the carnival May 23rd will still leave us with plenty of time to distribute the funds to immediate areas before the beginning of the school year. It will also leave us with extra time to distribute the funds to immediate areas and make sure that no potential problems arise.
Is there any further debate on the amendment? The question is on the adoption of the amendment to strike out the words May 23rd and insert the words May 2nd. Those in favor of this amendment say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the amendment is lost. The question is now on the adoption of the motion to hold the annual FBLA Carnival on May 23rd, 2013. Are you ready for the question? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it and the motion is adopted. The annual FBLA Carnival shall be held on May 23rd, 2013. Is there any new business?
Mr. President,
Ms. Duffner.
I think that our chapter should host a parade in Jefferson City on November 11, 2013 to honor those serving in the military.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that our chapter hosts a parade in Jeff City on November 11th, 2013 to honor those serving in the military. Are you ready for the question?
Mr. President,
Ms. Hahn.
I move that we amend this motion by adding the words "and a lunch at the Governor's Garden" after the words "host a parade."
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we amend this motion by adding the words "and host a lunch at the Governor's Garden" after the words "host a parade." Is there any debate on the question of the amendment?
Mr. President,
Ms. Schaefer.
I speak in favor of this motion. One of FBLA's 9 goals is to foster patriotism, so I think we should show our support for those who have past served and are serving now by hosting a parade and having a lunch for them.
Is there any further debate? The question is on the adoption of the amendment to add the words "and host a lunch at the Governor's Garden" after the words "host a parade." Those in favor of this amendment say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it and the motion is adopted. The question is now on the adoption of the motion that our chapter hosts a parade and host a lunch at the Governor's Garden in Jeff City on November 11th, 2013 to honor those serving in the military. Are you ready for the question?
Mr. President,
Mr. Locke.
I think it will be easier and cheaper to hold the parade at our own facility rather than in Jefferson City.
Mr. President,
Ms. Schaefer.
Jefferson City is the middle of Missouri as well as surrounding areas. I think it'll be an easy place for everyone to get to and also has many attractions like the Capitol that have memorials, and the Governor's Garden is a beautiful place to have lunch.
Is there any more debate on the question? The question is on the adoption of the motion that our chapter hosts a parade and host a lunch at the Governor's Garden in Jefferson City on November 11th, 2013 to honor those serving in the military. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it and the motion is adopted. Is there any further new business?
Mr. President,
Mr. Locke.
I move that our chapter of FBLA hold a trash pickup on April 30th, 2013.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that our chapter holds a trash pickup on April 30th, 2013. Are you ready for the question?
Mr. President,
Mr. Locke.
I believe we should hold this trash pickup to show to our community that we are actively involved in it.
Mr. President,
Ms. Holland.
I believe that we should wait to hold any community service projects until after our annual carnival. The carnival is a lot of work, and I feel that our focus should solely be on that, not on a trash pickup.
Mr. President,
Mr. Locke.
a trash pickup does not require extreme amounts of time or preparation, giving us plenty of time to plan for the carnival and hold the trash pickup.
Mr. President,
Ms. Holland.
I would like to speak more than twice, so I move that we consider this motion informally.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we consider this motion informally. Is there any debate on whether or not to consider this motion informally? Those in favor of considering the motion informally say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it and the motion will be considered informally. You may continue debate.
Mr. President,
Ms. Holland.
while planning for the carnival, many members will not want the added worry of worrying about a trash pickup.
Mr. President,
Mr. Locke.
with the many members we have plenty of help for each event.
Mr. President,
Ms. Duffner.
I think that holding a community service project will help our chapter gain publicity. I request permission to read the newspaper article.
Is there any objections to this request to read from a newspaper article? Hearing no objections, you may read from the article.
The American Sign Language Club of Barracks High School was seen picking up trash this weekend along Highway 63. Just as this organization gave publicity through a community service project, I feel that we can gain support from prospective students as well.
Is there any further debate on the question? The question is on the adoption of the motion that our chapter holds a trash pickup on April 30th, 2013. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it and the motion is adopted.
Division.
A division has been called for. Those in favor, please rise. Be seated. Those opposed, please rise. Be seated. The ayes have it and the motion is adopted. Or, there is a tie in the vote. With the president voting in the negative, the motion is lost. Is there any other new business?
Mr. President,
Ms. Schaefer.
I move our chapter hosts a 5K run on June 27th to help support the March of Dimes.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that our chapter hosts a 5K run on June 27th to support the March of Dimes. Are you ready for the question?
Mr. President,
Ms. Holland,
Point of order.
state your point.
The maker of the motion has the right to speak first.
The point is not well taken. Ms.
I
Holland.
appeal the decision of the chair.
The appeal has been heard. Shall the decision of the chair be sustained? Those in favor of sustaining the decision of the chair say aye.
aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the decision of the chair is not sustained. Ms. Schaefer, you have the floor.
March of Dimes is hugely connected to FBLA. I think we should show our support for the organization by raising money for them.
Is there any further debate? The question is on the adoption of the motion that our chapter hosts a 5K run on June 27th to support the March of Dimes. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it and the motion is adopted. Is there any other new business?
Mr. President,
Ms. Schaefer.
I move we reconsider the motion to hold a trash pickup on April 30th. I voted in the negative.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we reconsider the motion to hold a trash pickup on April 30th. Are there any objections to reconsidering this motion? Hearing no objections, the motion shall be reconsidered. Are you ready for the question?
Mr. President,
Ms. Holland.
like I stated earlier, getting members to participate in the trash pickup while planning for the carnival will be difficult.
Mr. President,
Mr. Locke.
I move that we lay this motion on the table until our next regular scheduled monthly meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we lay this motion on the table until our next regularly scheduled monthly meeting. Those in favor of laying this motion on the table say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the motion shall be laid on the table. Is there any further new business?
Mr. President,
Ms. Duffner.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. Are there any objections to adjourning? Are there any announcements? Hearing no objections, this meeting will be adjourned. We will meet again at our next regularly scheduled monthly meeting.